I think something that's really cool, and he was in before, obviously before you, but Ray Tanner, he's been in college. You know, you guys have you've probably known who Ray Tanner is your entire career. I mean, he's been coaching college baseball since you were coming up, and I think he got the South Carolina job in '97. I want to say '96 maybe when he came from NC State. But either way, was there a long time. So you saw kind of, and I'm sure you kept an eye on it, just covering college baseball and stuff like that, the growth and the progression of South Carolina baseball under his leadership, going from a middle of the pack program to when Ray Tanner was there, it was elite. I mean, truly elite, year in, year out, a top 10 program every single year. And obviously it culminated with the back-to-back national titles in 10 and 11, and then going in 2012, which is so funny. I talked to the guys that played on that team. I'm like, do you ever feel like the forgotten team? Because it's like, just because you didn't win it, everybody forgot you made it to the final. But, when you think of Ray Tanner, Kyle, I'll ask you, when you think of Ray Tanner, because obviously he's kind of navigating right now being an athletic director for South Carolina. But when you think of Ray Tanner, the baseball coach, what do you think of?
First, I think of Ray Tanner, the guy, and just how genuine he is and how genuine he always was with me, and ultimately how you knew that played through to his players. Because there's one place that you can't fool guys, and that's in a clubhouse. You just can't. When you get in that environment, everybody can see through the BS if it exists. And I always thought Ray had a really amazing and rare within that environment combination of, I would say, patience, but he also knew when to jump a guy, and it was done in the right way. From a tactician standpoint, the way that he ran the game was always as good as whoever was on the other side of the diamond. Clearly he could recruit, but by and large, the guys that can recruit, especially now, I think, but the guys that can recruit have to have an authentic piece. If you're gonna hold it for a period of time, I mean, the salesman piece can work for a while, but ultimately people are going to see through it after a while, and there's nothing to see through it with Ray. So I think it was all those things as a coach. And the cool thing for me then and now is getting to know these guys, especially if they're, playing at a really high level multiple years, because then we're around them a lot. And you get to know their background and their personality and their families. And you have conversations with them that are different than you do with many other coaches, because really they become friends. And there's always an understanding that sometimes I may need to say things or see things during the course of the game that ultimately they may disagree with. And the nice thing for me, and I can't recall any individual with Ray, but there's been a few with some others that I would compare to Ray as far as accomplishments, that those conversations after the fact are always pretty comfortable. Hey man, I heard this happened. I heard you said this during the game. Like, I want to talk to you about it. I want to tell you what we were thinking and why we did it. And our game is unique in that way. I think it's very unique, especially in talking to those that cover other sports. A buddy of mine was doing play-by-play for a football game last weekend, and we were talking about something different. He's like, man, they wouldn't even tell me who the starting kicker was. I mean, there's been times that I go into games that I know what some of the signs are. I mean, the trust that they put in us, which is earned over time, obviously. And it's not across the board, but it definitely happens more in our sport. And I think it's one of the things that makes college baseball a rarity.